Hello everyone, this is going to be sort of like an opinion video. I know the description on my channel doesn't really advertise this channel, something that would give opinions on politics, but fuck you, I'm just gonna do what I want to on this channel, really. Hose for health. Now, today I'm going to be doing a video on the biggest baby in the entire world, or at least his website. Because this article was written by another real woman. You'll get that reference in a second. This article is called "Dear Men Who Vote for Bernie Sanders, You're Not Men at All, ... So I'm just gonna summarize the introduction of this because I don't want to make this video too long. It's basically like, dear men, but actually men who are perpetual boys. This doesn't make sense because once a boy, a human boy, hits puberty, he officially becomes a human man. A human. Same thing with women. Puberty, or, being a man or a real man or real woman is not determined by how some random Republican lady on Louder with Crowder, views men. That's not science, which is very contradictory, because at the bottom of this article it says, yeah, science, bitch, from Breaking Bad, I think that's a show. Anyways, the introduction, she's talking about a letter that she wrote months ago, I think, and it's called "Screw Off, Feminist, an Open Letter to Men from a Real Woman." I guess she's just like the voice. I'm itching my butt crack right now, but I guess she perceives herself as the speaker for women, all women, every single woman. She represents all of us except for feminists, I guess. She basically just says, they have made a world today that I raise my glasses to you, gents. I've even made you a sandwich. Way to be incredibly stereotypical, and if you can only cook a sandwich for your husband, I feel kind of bad for him, unless he knows how to cook better, because sandwiches get really boring. I don't know, my opinion, again. And then she goes on to say, what is a man? We'll see the eye-opening paragraph for a hint. Read the open letter next. I'm not gonna fucking click on that article and read it, because she's pretty much already summarized what her views are in this one article. Basically, she says you cannot support Bernie Sanders and be a real man because real men don't accept handouts, because real men are hunters and gatherers, aka, I guess, the breadwinners. I keep on doing this. I'm so sorry. Everything about this article just seems sarcastic to me. But I guess she thinks that if a man is not the breadwinner of his family, he is not a real man. Now, there are several factors in which a woman can earn more than a man. The girl came from a rich family, she was able to go to college easier. The man came from a poor family, he had to, get a factory job or some shit. That's usually what I see, actually. I see the girl that came from a wealthy family, and she gets a fancy college degree while her boyfriend is, slaving away at the factory. But I guess that means that he's not a real man. This woman believes, this is really, really ironic, this woman believes that if a man cannot provide for his woman, who I guess shouldn't work, women shouldn't work, then he is not a real man, which confuses me, because her work is writing bullshit articles for Steven Crowder, or Croder, whatever, Louder with Crowder. Her work is writing articles for this website. So is her husband not a real man because she has to have a job? Or is this just simply work that she does for fun and she doesn't get paid for it? Who knows? This entire article has a lot of logical fallacies and a lot of hypocritical shit in it, especially because there have been past articles. I don't think it was written by the same person, but there have been past articles on Louder with Crowder about how we don't need feminism because women are already completely equal to men, and then they write shit like this where it's women aren't equal to men, women shouldn't work, women are too weak to work. And I don't understand it. I don't really understand the point they're trying to get across. It's like they want women to not fight for their rights, but at the same time, they want women to think that they have all of their rights already, even though they are spreading very anti-woman propaganda and anti-man propaganda, especially that. So she goes on to say, you, the Bernie supporter, a male seeking handouts, lacks personal respect. You're less a man and more like a spineless amoeba. You've fallen for the party line that life isn't fair. You believe Obama and Sanders say the deck is stacked against you, where a real man would heartily declare challenge accepted. While forging a path to victory, you hang your head and sulk. You hashtag, you complain, you are a male with no belief in yourself. You're not a man at all. I'm gonna crack my back, because I'm about to say some real shit. Whether you are voting for Bernie Sanders or not, you should at least listen to this point. Men are the majority of suicides in this country. Men are the majority of the homeless in this country. Men suffer just about as much as women do, if not more. If you're a feminist and you disagree with me or something, I'm sorry. I'm just going by statistic. But who's to say a man doesn't need help or a handout every once in a while when there are the majority of suicides and homeless people in this country? Do you not understand that this fucking website keeps swaying back and forth? They either believe women and men are equal, or women have it, they're too weak, so life is harder and their man needs to support them, or men have it worse than women and that's why feminism doesn't need to exist. And I don't understand the point they're trying to get across. I don't know whose side they're on. I don't know what they believe. They keep on flip-flopping this. I think they should change their website link to like HillaryClinton.org or something, because that's what they're acting like. Anyway, they go on to say something really, really, really funny. You are also doomed to be taken over by a feminist if any woman will have you at all. When I was a feminist, I still liked my womanly gender role. I didn't have a job. I didn't drive. I didn't have a car. My boyfriend took me everywhere. My boyfriend provided for me. So I think this is kind of hilarious, because when I was a feminist, I was incredibly dependent, and now that I'm a, like, humanitarian or whatever, I don't know, I just believe in equality. Now that I'm that, I work, and I provide for myself, I drive, I have a car, I do all my own shit, basically. So that sentence in itself is very odd to me, because I actually know a lot of feminists who still like their feminine gender roles. And I mean, just because you're a feminist doesn't mean you have to go against feminine gender roles. Feminism itself is being able to choose whether you want to follow those gender roles or not. And she says another ridiculous thing. I mean, I can't really say that because this entire article is pretty horrible. It's evolution. It's biology. As women, we're hardwired to want a man who can protect and provide for us when we're the child. What? As it were, how can we forage or hunt for food while feeding and caring for young babies? We can't. Enter science. We seek a mate who can take on those responsibilities while caring for the young. I don't know if this woman understands this or not. I mean, the way she's writing, it seems like she exists, like, in prehistoric time, almost. Like, she's writing as if daycares don't exist, as if single mothers who work don't exist. It's not... I will not disagree with the fact that it is natural that women will go after men who show childbearing, or not childbearing, taking care of children and, like, taking care of the woman. I won't go against that, because I know a lot of women who are into that, but I also know a lot of women who are not. I myself, I can't even have children. If I try to have a kid, I'll actually die, so that's not really something I'm into. This woman acts like she's using science to defend her anti-Bernie. Okay, that's just really funny to me. They're using science. They're using, like, very first grade science to try and debunk Bernie Sanders and his supporters, which is hilarious to me because that's just, none of this has any sort of correlation. They're trying to force an analogy or a connection so badly, and it's just not working. It's not, at this point in time, at least in America, women usually go after men who seem goal-oriented, are attractive, stuff like that, while men usually go for almost the same thing in a woman. I guess this is in itself a part of evolution now that we have technology, a lot more, convenience at our hands now. We don't need to look for someone who's going to defend us from bears and shit. We look for someone who has the same goals as us, as someone who has the same sort of drive as us. We don't look for the biggest man in the room, go up to him and be like, can you fucking fight this wolf for me? Can you protect me and my children? That's not how shit goes anymore, unless you literally live, like, in the woods somewhere. She goes on to say shit like, bad news, guys. Honorable women do not respect a man who seeks handouts from elected officials. My boyfriend is a little bit poor. I mean, we together are a little bit poor. He's never been on welfare or anything, but I would not shun him or hate him for doing so because we are having a hard time. I'm trying to go to college soon, but we are both having a hard time supporting ourselves. So I don't really see what the problem would be if we went on government assistance, because he's trying. He's at a fucking job interview right now, actually. I work. We both work. It's just where we live, there's not an abundance of high-paying jobs, and that's just how it is. And I don't think that you should shun any man whose circumstances you don't know. Just because you're a woman and you're entitled to his entire paycheck, you better pay for me and my, like, 80 children because I'm a woman and I can't work. No, that's stupid. That's actual sexism. That is sexism against men. Expecting a man to provide for you just because you, for some reason, can't work, which I don't understand how. No, that's actually really gross, especially in this economy. Who can afford to support what one man without college education or some sort of good start on his life, like being born rich or some shit? What man can go out and support his entire family just on the fucking blink of an eye, just finding a good job that can support like 3 to 5 people? Babies are expensive. Women are expensive. It's nothing that someone can just easily do. Her final little snippet, little paragraph is, so enjoy the beanbag, enjoy the weed, enjoy the small comforts for small is all you'll ever have. You'll stay locked in a state of perpetual boyhood, constantly complaining about life's unfairness. My boyfriend is voting for Bernie Sanders, so am I, but we actually both don't even smoke weed, so I found that we don't own a beanbag chair either. No, we don't even really have small comforts. We live in a shitty apartment that we're moving out of soon. But no, the reason life is unfair for both of us is because, well, I wouldn't say like, oh, life's unfair, we can't do anything. Well, the reason that I perceive our lives as harder, I wouldn't say unfair, because there are people who have it worse, is because we weren't really born to wealthy families. Both of our families struggled to, stay afloat. We didn't have any sort of college funds saved up for us, and that wasn't our faults. We were just born. It's not really anyone's fault for being born into a poor family. We're trying hard. I'm trying to go to college. He's trying to go to college. It's just money is always an issue. Especially if he were still supporting me, like this article thinks he should. But no, the real men will continue to work hard despite the genuine deck stacked against them. After all, someone has fed your sorry, pathetic, weed-puffing mouth. You certainly... Weed-puffing mouth. um, no, just because I'm voting for Bernie Sanders doesn't mean I've been working like I've had a job since I was like 15, I think. Yeah, I have. No, me and my boyfriend, we have both been hard workers ever since we were teenagers. We've all we've made our own money. We buy our own shit just because we both want a shot at actually going to college, because our jobs definitely will not support those funds. Does not mean we want handouts or that he isn't a real man. I think that he is like the realest of men. He went from he had a job for 3 years, same job for 3 years, and lost it because his fucking transmission went out in his car and his job requires driving. But he went from having a 3-year job to nothing, and is not put down by that, and is out looking for a job every fucking day. I think that he's the manliest of men, and the woman who wrote this article, Courtney Kirchhoff, I doubt that she even has a husband. I don't know what self-respecting man would date a woman who proudly stereotypes herself. So, that's just me. Anyways, thank you for watching this video. Sorry if it got a little bit long. The link to this article will be in the description if you just look at it. Anyways, have fun, whatever. Leave your opinions and comments down there.